probably did.
No, she walked out
Okay.
on the phone with somebody.
All right, I'd like to call the Finance Committee, April 15th, to order. If you'll call roll, please.
Yes, sir. Councilor Jones,
Here.
Waldney,
Here.
Allemon,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
and Harden. Got 4 on.
All right, good. Mr. Harden's on the way, so he'll be here in just a minute. So the meeting's for April 1st. Do we have a motion to dispense with those readings and approve them as distributed?
Yes, so moved.
Second. Okay, moved by Councilor Smith, second by Councilor Allemon. Any questions or comments on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. That's 4 to 0. Well, let's see. Yeah, you voted for that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 4 to 0. All right, moving to old business, a request for consideration of city manager, mayor, or Mr. President. We having anything new tonight?
Not that I'm aware of, Alex, do you have, no, yeah, nothing tonight.
Okay,
Just
all right,
keep-
we'll
keep
carry.
on working on it.
Keep on
Okay,
getting
we'll
those
keep on,
signatures.
yeah, keep working. So we'll carry that over, pending additional information. 11/02/24, bid opening set for April 22nd, which is next Monday, for fire facilities maintenance bid. I believe that's at 4:35, I think. So we'll open those next week and then report that back. So we'll carry that over pending the bid opening. Moving on to new business. 010424, request for permission to staff planning technician position. Mr. Smith?
Yeah, thank you. So this was a position that was vacated about 18 months ago. And our staff, since I've been here for 3 years, has taken on more responsibilities than what we have, and we have fewer staff than what we had 3 years ago. So we do have someone who might be interested in it. The personnel board has open applications for this position. Not for us, but they did for Birmingham. So it would be good to have that as an option for us to pull down that list and see if they're good candidates.
Okay. And I've sent this out to the committee. It does not require any money, any amendment to money. Yeah.
All right, then I would make a motion to, allow them to pursue as planning technician.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Counselor Smith, second by Counselor Alomar. Any questions on that? And you'll handle the resolution to personnel board, right? You can handle that, okay, great. Any other questions? Let the record reflect Mr. Harden's here. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. We'll call it 4-0. All right, 020424, request for consideration of budget amendments for FY 23-24. And I heard today on the phone someone said Brandon needed this, and I had to figure out which Brandon it was. So I'm glad
Mr.
Mr.
Brandon was
And
very
now we
good.
have two Mr. Sims, so we're it's great. So we're happy to have you here, and if you can provide a little. I know the information was looking for a budget amendment from 66,000 to 100,000. Is that right?
Yes. Actually, it was, I believe, 140 was the
One.
number.
Okay, that's right.
It's 140.
140. So. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
a little bit of background about this is I'd like to upgrade us to enterprise level licenses for our Microsoft tenant. Currently, we're using licenses across the board. It's kind of a mixed bag, and the majority of them are licenses that are built for small businesses. And so there's a number of security and compliance things that we don't have access to. And so with our push to get kind of the foundational elements under control, that's one of the things that I'd like to incorporate.
Okay, so you're looking for, the recommendation is to, and it's really gonna bring us a lot more efficiency and security.
Security.
Correct.
Things like that.
So
Okay.
for a good example is right now when it comes to our multi-factor authentication, people are having a number and a myriad of ways that they can implement multi-factor authentication, and we as IT can't necessarily control which elements they're using. So this allows us to standardize and go, hey, we're gonna tell you how you can do multi-factor. It'll allow us to get the audit reports that we need. We can also do things like geofencing, where we can cut it down and say, hey, we shouldn't see any logins from China. We shouldn't see any logins from the Philippines or whatever's going on, so.
Okay, great. Okay, so the line item is this right, 0109499301?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, carryover fund balance, and that'd be moving that from 66 to 140.
Yes, sir.
Motion
for approval.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Waltney, second by Mrs. Smith. Any other questions?
Just final question, this will be the standard annual rate at which point moving forward?
Correct.
So we need, we'll need to budget for that in the fall.
Correct.
We're working on our budget. Okay. Any other questions?
How much, what are we spending right now?
Right now, it's budgeted at 66,000.
Okay.
Mr. Gwaltney made
And
the
then
motion, Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
That's okay.
Second. Okay, great. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed by the same sign, 5-0, that passes.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you. Great. Moving on, 030424, request to surplus 1999 Ford F-450, another 2009 F-150, and a Ram 2013 Ram 1500, as well as some other various equipment. And I believe we have a listing here if anyone wants to look through this, but they're really have tons of miles on them, and they're to the point where we need to surplus them. Any comments, Mr. Squires?
I'd fix them if I could, but none of them are worth, right, it costs more to fix them than they're worth at this point.
Got it, okay. So we'll be recommending this as an ordinance for next week. Is there a motion to?
Motion to approve the surplus items.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mrs. Smith, second by Mr. Harden, to declare those items attached there surplus. Any questions? Any more questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, 5-0, that passes. All right, our last item, 120424, request for consideration to authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Carr, Riggs, and Ingram for accounting work. President White.
Obviously, we have a vacancy at the finance director position right now. So this contract would allow Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, that's already been doing some, but we needed to get a contract actually done for them to help us out with the work while we're continuing the search for a new finance director.
And the mayor has that, or Mr. Kendrick has the contract?
He does.
Yep,
He already
okay.
has it.
So pending the approval of Mr. Kendrick to authorize the mayor to sign that contract. And this is budgeted, I believe. Do we need to, is there any more funding that's needed for this particular line item?
I think we're good right now. If we get to a point where we do need to do that, then we can,
Okay.
deal with a budget amendment at that
Got it.
point, but right now, we're okay.
Okay. Okay.
I would make a motion for the mayor to sign the contract with Carr Riggs.
Second.
I'll give that to Mr. Gwaltney. Moved by Mrs. Smith, second by Mr. Gwaltney. It was second. All right, any other questions on that? Thank you for putting that together. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign? That's 5-0, that passes. Any other questions? Any other items? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Public Safety Committee meeting, April 15th, 2024. Counselor Gwaltney.
Here.
Wolverton. Jones.
Here.
Nelms.
Here.
Harden.
Here.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to dispense with the reading and approve of the minutes from the Public Safety Committee meeting, April 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Counselor Nelms and Counselor Harden. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 4-0. We have no items under old business. Under new business, 040424, request for consideration for condemnation of the apartment building at 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18 Aspen Cove at the park at Buckingham. Coming to us from our Chief Building Inspector, Mr. Pugh.
Yes, sir. I know that's a weird way to see the addresses, but as you can see, that's the way. It's a single building, all under one roof. It's sort of like it feels like multiple little groupings of apartments under a single roof, connected by breezeway. It's one building with no address. So that's the way we present it and advertise it. Brian, if you go to the next page, please. Here's the condition it's in. It starts on the right end and it goes all the way down. So these are all abandoned and empty and open and gutted, the ones that are within an envelope. But as we move down, most of the building envelope's gone and just crumbling. So
I know there was a fire there.
there was.
Were these the units that were affected by the fire?
There were two buildings there was a fire in. One of them was completely demolished.
Right.
And they even asked for a variance to put something back there.
Yeah.
This one was also damaged by a fire.
Okay.
And some partial demolition took place.
Right.
But it's just been sitting
Sitting
like
there.
this for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, I've been in communication with them. They talk like they're ready to do something, but there's a lot of things in their way. It's, you know, it's one of those kind of situations. So
Yeah. Oh.
I let them know that this is something we need to go ahead and move forward with. And if they want to work with me along the way, I'm still open to that.
Because, I mean, other people still live there. I mean, there's lots of other apartments that are there, and that's not
Sure.
safe to be around.
Is that fenced off right now?
It's fenced, but poorly. As you can see, some of the fencing is knocked down. The fencing is like a temporary construction fence. So if someone really wanted to, they could pick it up and sort of drag it out of the way a little bit and slide in. So it's a.
Thank you. Well, and 1 second.
Okay.
I just want to double check, since there are a large number of folks here, is there anybody here to speak for, against, or for this item? No? Okay. So with that.
I'm not even on this committee, so.
Declare so we're.
I guess I'm used to looking at you, so.
He fully supports this.
Yeah.
That's my word, I'm sorry.
I like the gusto. That's good.
I apologize.
So, is there any, are there any further questions? If there are none, is there a motion?
From someone on the committee.
So moved.
Councilor Nellens made the motion.
Sorry, definitely. That's a second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Nay? No nays, sorry. The motion is approved 4-0. There are no other items on the public safety agenda, so public safety is adjourned. You're okay, I was so used to finance, I was thinking you were.
I'll be right here.
Is my back?
All right. Public Works Committee meeting April 15, 2024. Councilor Gear,
Here.
Sims,
Here.
Nelms,
Here.
Harden.
Here.
And Wolverton is absent.
So the minutes for January 22nd and February 5th were sent out. Can I get a motion to dispense of the reading and approval?
I will make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Okay, there's no old business, new business, 05-04-24. Request for permission to add 14 parking spaces in the right-of-way at 65 Old Montgomery Highway for Covenant Presbyterian Church.
Hey, Nick, can I stop you right there?
Yes, you can.
All right, so previously, all the way back, he hasn't had a meeting in a while. So there's two sets of minutes that need to be approved.
Okay.
Right.
There's the minutes from January 22nd, and then these in
February 5th.
the February 5th. So we need to do.
So in my announcement, I referenced
Send 'em
both
together.
of
Oh, I
them.
apologize.
If that's
Excuse
okay.
me,
We
I'm
need to-
sorry.
No, if we need to approve them separately, we can.
No, it's-
but you're fine.
Sorry,
Okay.
Walter
That's
says
on-
all
that's
good.
on me.
So then, old business, I'm sorry, new business, presentation from Kel Smith.
Yeah, thank you, Counselor. And Daniel Taylor is here from ARD and from the church, and I'm going to get him to talk about why they want to put in these 14 parking spaces along South Lake Shore. But this is the location where they're proposing or asking for them to go. And then the third photo in the PDF will give you a street view.
It didn't look like it. There's that weird.
Third one? Yeah, the third one. This is just the survey showing, and then this is the street view, so you can see where they want to go right along in there.
They park there anyway.
Daniel, do you want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, thank y'all for your time. The mud is kind of indicative of the problem that the congregation is growing, which is great, but, with that comes some parking challenges, and I'm kind of heading the team up to deal with some of that internally on our property. But one of the items that we looked at was right here along the right of way of South Lake Shore. We feel like we can get 14 spots in there, you know, kind of pending a full civil design and everything else. People are already parking along there kind of during peak times. And peak times for us are really kind of complementary to what happens at the high school. You know, obviously it's Sunday mornings. There's also a day school that's in that children's building right there. Their drop-offs are, you know, at 9 a.m. and their pickups are at 1. So they're not during high traffic times when you've got school traffic coming in and out of South Lake Shore for people coming back and forth to the high school. So that's what we're trying to do is improve that, because people inevitably pull in and park along there anyway. And what happens is what you see in this photo right here.
Also, sir, would you mind signing in for the record, your name and address?
Yes, sure. Yeah, sorry, we were.
With both. No, that's great.
Cal, I have a question.
Sure.
Because the power poles are right there as well, I'm assuming there's some sort of Alabama Power easement situation over there. Does that have any effect on where they can put their parking spaces?
No, so that wouldn't affect that.
Okay.
I mean, we would notify Alabama Power
Yeah.
and make sure that they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, I just noticed that there was all the power lines. I didn't know if that was ever an issue for them.
And I met with somebody at the church 2 years ago about this, so y'all been looking for a long time. The biggest question I have, and of course Sundays it's probably not an issue on South Lake Shore, but backing out into the street.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's just a fact, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I think it kind of goes with us not being during any type of peak time when anybody's traveling up and down that road.
You're also on approach to a stop sign too, so that'll alleviate the speed issue, so that'll help.
I will say that they do, there's a lot of, right here, that there is a lot of pedestrian traffic, and there are a lot of runners that use that road, and high school runners that use that road too, so I would just want to be mindful of safety, as pulling in and out of the parking spaces and moving way down.
Was there any consideration given to, I know you probably won't get as many spaces, but just to more of like a parallel parking situation versus a pull-in?
Well, we looked at that, and I mean, part of the problem with that is at some point somebody's having to go in and turn around. You know, so if you had angular parking, you know, whichever way that you angled it this way, you know, looking down the street, people are coming out, they're going down, then they're having to turn around, you know, somewhere in the, you know, either in the ROTC, but not the ROTC, the Armory building or that Sanford Arts building on down the way. We don't want them funneling into our parking lot, because that clogs up our parking lot with a whole bunch of other parking logistics that we're dealing with internally. You know, same problem is if you had the parking angled back this way, you know, they're having to come in and turn around that same way to get back in there and pull in. Plus, it just becomes a quantity issue with the spaces. What people are doing right there now is parking parallel,
Right.
you know, on the road.
Yeah.
And they're getting 5-6 cars in there, depending on who comes in and when.
Chairman, or Councilor Jones?
Chair. Was there a consideration of putting the 14 from the dumpster this way within that parking lot?
Yes.
You looked at that too?
Well,
There's parking there already.
So you're talking about the 14 would be on the street, but
Yeah,
did you
double
look at
parking.
putting it off, you know,
Just come in from the
additional?
parking lot.
There's already spots there.
There's already spots there. That's
Yeah,
right.
you'd have to double park.
Yeah, that would, okay. So their only option is really.
There's a curb line right there. The only option is to go in there off the street.
Yep, now see that,
Yeah.
need to restripe too.
Yeah.
I couldn't even
Never
see
is.
those.
We got a lot of
spots.
stuff in the queue.
Yeah, okay.
Brian, would you mind going back to the rendering as well, please? We went from that pretty quickly, and I just want to look at that again.
This is an old survey. It's the gray rectangular area up at the top right
Okay.
is where that is.
How about that?
Well, it may be all you have. I was just making sure, I was just seeing,
That's good.
because we'll need something eventually. Mr. Kendrick will need something if we consider this you know, to include in the resolution that actually was a drawing, and I wondered if we had a drawing yet.
Yeah, I gave, everything you've seen up here, I've given to Bo.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright. So is there, I missed that, that's what I'm looking for, the drawing that shows the spaces?
Like a rendering of them
Yeah.
actually.
No, they haven't gotten an engineer drawing yet for that. They wanted to first get permission and that's typically what we've done on similar requests. Parking spaces in the right of way.
Okay.
Even specifically the urology clinic, they came in with something similar to this. Before they had engineered it, they didn't want to spend money. Before they had permission.
Can I ask a question? Is Wednesday night, I mean, are there other times, I mean, Sunday morning's great, because there's nobody on that road, except maybe some runners, but what about in the evenings when, you know, kids might be coming from?
The high school.
Wednesday nights are typically, everybody can get on campus.
So you're not getting enough.
Without issue. It's Sunday mornings and drop off and pick up at the school, which is drop off and pick up at the school is weekdays, 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
So people are parking there while they're
When
dropping
you
off?
see people parking along the right of way in the grass is in those
Wow.
times, Sunday mornings and then at the drop off for school. Because the nursery entrance is right there at that canopy.
So they'll walk in to get them as
Mhm.
opposed to just.
That's right.
So did I see a drain? Is it in a drainage area?
It is, but they'll
Everything.
figure all that out. in the
Spend some money.
engineering. Yeah, they'll have to do some stormwater work.
Okay, I have one more question. So will the parking places butt up to the ones on the other side, or are they gonna be right on the street?
I think the proposal is that they are right on the street.
Is
That's
that?
right. Yeah, yes ma'am. The back of the parking space will be right on the street.
No, they're not angled, they're 90 degrees.
Oh, they're 90.
They're
Oh.
90s directly head in.
Oh, they're head in.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
I thought,
yeah.
okay.
I thought they were
That-
angled.
that's
The
what I'm
problem is that
saying.
what
He said because you'd have to get in them, you'd have to.
you would have to
either-
go down and turn around
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
come back.
Instead of just backing out.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm backing out. And I will tell you, when I first met with one of their members, the thought was, could they take some of the land we have right beyond that? I think I talked to you about it.
Not that we have.
Yeah,
Not that
It's
we
not
have.
ours.
yeah, it's not ours, right?
Yeah.
It's
Part of the.
it's the trust, that
Yes.
wild people trust, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And no, they
No,
cannot have that.
exactly.
The
Don't do
answer is
that.
no.
Yeah, and that was my answer, so, okay. Well, I'll make a motion. What do we have to do? We have to send it to city council.
Yes, you would make a motion,
Yeah, just to approve.
motion to approve with a proper indemnification agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve with proper legal indemnification.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, well that concludes our agenda for tonight, that'll go to council this coming Monday. And with that, Public Works is adjourned.
Excuse me, sir, what was your name?
Daniel Taylor. Do I need to sign in?
Yes.
$15,000 2024. Counselor Smith?
Here.
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 Alamon?
Here.
Sims?
Here.
Andrews?
Here.
Alright, we have everybody. Alright, can I get a motion to dispense with the reading and approve the minutes from our meeting on April 1st?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Allen, second from Ms. Anders. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0, those pass. We have no old business. New business, 060424. Request to permit a tent in the right-of-way adjacent to 2701 18th Street South on Cinco de Mayo. This is coming from Little Donkey and Josh Gentry and Mr. Pugh. And I've been in touch with Josh today too, so.
Okay,
Do
good.
you have all the info or you want
I
me?
do, I
Okay,
do.
there you go.
Yep, so it's a proposed temporary tent on Cinco de Mayo, to cover these 4 spaces in front of Little Donkey from about 10 a.m. on May 5th.
Which is Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep, until 10 a.m. May 6th, when they would approximately around that time come pick it up.
And I asked Josh to talk to his tent company and suggest that they come earlier so that they would be up and out by the time lunchtime hit on 18th Street. On Sunday, I don't think there's any issue because the post office is closed, all the businesses behind them are closed, the auto shop is closed, so a lot of the businesses over there are not open on Sunday anyway, so it would just be that Monday morning. We'd want it up and out of there before.
When people going to work, are they gonna access up on the road? We're going to work on Monday morning, 8 a.m. or something.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be in the parking spaces.
But
It's
they
not
won't
gonna
be out, like, you know, they don't have to access it from behind there.
No, I think once they come to pick it up, they'll pull into one of those spaces over here and they'll just go over there and disassemble it.
From
Put it on
the
their truck.
inside.
Yeah, from the inside. I don't think they'll have to be out in the street
I
to
don't think
disassemble
there-
the front.
He didn't mention anything about needing to block off.
No, I don't think there's gonna be any need for them to be in the road. And he said they're just gonna be out there, you know, with margaritas and such for Cinco de Mayo.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion for Mr. Almond, second for Mr. Sims. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I know where voice to go.
It's a park party.
Under the tent. All right, 070424, request to set a public hearing and referral to the Special Issues Committee for condemnation for consideration of a sign variance at 3125 Independence Drive, Suite 300B, EVI, Gina Childers.
Yes.
And I think this is supposed to be EW, isn't it?
It's EW motion therapy.
Yeah.
They've moved and taken the entire top floor of
Right.
that.
Here, come on up if you want to.
So,
And we'll let both
What's
sides
your
of each
name,
My
other.
name's Michael Wright, I'm with Envision. I'm the sign installer. So where the sign's proposed, you can see, is up top left. And apparently when the building was built, they provided for something to go up there because there's already electrical up there in the ag, and they're remodeling that whole floor so EW can take it. So there's already about a 3/4 inch hole and a MC flex will to go out. It's gonna be an LED sign, very lightweight. It's the dimensions are on here. And I'll be bringing a 60-foot boom lift so that I don't disturb anything, and I'm putting it up there. So actually 2 signs, and it's gonna be mounted on a trough rather than channel letters. It won't be flush to the building, but that's already, that's part of the approval process.
I know there was a picture that showed it actually like in
There is,
color.
There is, but
I know John sent it to me.
Right. Gotcha.
Do you have that, Brian?
Do not.
That black and white was what I received
Okay, hold on, let's see.
with the application.
I think I have
So
mine.
if you can picture the dimensions, that's at the bottom of that sign is 42 feet. So at the top of it, I think y'all have a 36 inch, the size of the side being 36 inches. It does fall within the parameters of what that ordinance is. But with them occupying the top space, it wouldn't make any sense to put it down below. Now, I understand you probably don't want to set a precedent that every business in that building, they would want signs across the top of the building. And that's what, if you approve this, that's what you gotta get up against. But us being first and taking that first one, you can always say, this is closed, we're not going beyond. And I'll give you an example, like I said, is Regions Bank's the same thing, but they do probably occupy the entire building. And they were before 2019, so I'm sure they were grandfathered in. So it's a beautiful sign, it's not gonna, if anything, draw attention and it'll be done professionally, and I think it's something that I'd like for you to consider for us.
Well,
Brian, I sent that to you.
My concern is exactly what you just said. There is a hideous building on Lakeshore, next to the Circle K, and it is just one gigantic, there's 10 signs on there, it looks horrible.
And I agree with that. So I can see that point, but what if you're not in that sign where your ordinance already says it falls in the parameters, and we have that one sign, what is it, 14 feet off the ground or something? We have a 4-foot sign right on the other side of that tree for EW motion therapy. John Dell's office is actually that corner office beside the sign. So I can't see any other way to do it.
Yeah, and I will say, I talked to John, because he called me to kind of talk it through. And there is, as in one of the previous pictures, there is a monument sign out at the front of the parking lot, with every tenant's name on it. The
Right.
problem is, because they're on the third floor and because you can't really see the monument sign necessarily from both directions on 31, they're patients, they've had trouble with people being able to locate.
I went to go look at the sign and I had difficulty myself, and I go to different places all the time, so I can appreciate it.
Yeah, so that was his,
And
that was
they're
their real
growing.
reason.
They're a good part of their community, they're growing, they look from inside that building to occupy the entire floor.
Yeah.
I mean, this is somewhat of a recognition of that growth, and I mean, I think it's a good representation of what they're doing and the forward thinking that they're doing as well as y'all's planning.
So, I mean, the proper motion would be to send it out without recommendation pending that public hearing on, oh, I guess we have to set the public hearing.
Yes.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, you may, sure, of course.
Are they the only ones with the rights in their lease to assign on the building?
I can't speak to that, and I don't know that they have the rights.
That's important.
Yeah,
That's
can you
important.
find out, cause
I don't know the answer to that. Now,
And or is the owner of the building gonna proffer that this is
Yes,
the only sign that
that's-
goes on the
He
outside,
hasn't
That's
proved
it.
it
on the
because
building?
I've met with him on 2 occasions, and I've been on the roof.
You want me to text
We
John?
discussed how we want it lit, either with a photocell mounted to the sign rather than going through his building. I've looked for mechanical rooms, and he has given permission for this sign. Now,
I get that
That's
it's
the
permission, I'm
that's
talking
the
about something a little bit
answer.
different.
That's
we're talking about, can the other people come behind me and say, oh, I like that, and wanna
Yeah,
put it over
what
there?
I'm saying is, he can, if he chooses to, he can proffer to say, this is the only tenant that I am ever gonna ask to put on this, to put the sign on the
Would that
building.
be something you would like for me to,
Yes.
to push?
I think that would,
I mean,
I think that would be a
yes.
question that he would
Well,
probably want to ask.
From my understanding from John is that that is the case.
Yes.
Because they could not ask for this until they had more square footage inside the building than any other tenant. Whereas before they did not, now they do because they've added more square footage.
I'm in
Now they
agreement with all
want to
you
put the
guys.
sign.
Anything.
You don't want,
But I
you don't want
guarantee
there
you
to be,
they'll-
and everybody
that
else
we
with that
will.
sign running across there like a billboard.
I get that an anchor tenant might have a reason to have a sign on there.
Right, yes, sir.
What I'm saying is the owner of the building might be interested, because it might make a difference to the council, and we
Yes.
can't ask for this, this is just if he wants to offer it.
Right.
But if he wants to proffer that that's the only tenant he'll ever ask for, that's something that my guess is the council would like to hear,
Well,
whether or not he's willing to do that.
The thing that I would consider is, what would be in it for him to have all those signs up there?
I completely agree with you,
Yeah,
but
so-
but two things.
The tenants are
One,
gonna ask.
I've seen it happen before,
I'm
and
sure,
two,
sure.
he may not always own the building.
Okay, well then,
I
y'all wanna
think-
table this until I can get him to profit
Well, I
that?
tell you, we've got to set a public hearing anyway in probally 2 weeks, right? I would
We will
imagine.
set it on Monday night
We'll
for
set
2
it,
weeks
yeah,
from
from
Monday
the Monday night, so.
Well, I have the signs up, and I'm ready to put it up, giving y'all's approval, but I'll take as much time.
Well, I
as
mean,
can.
we'll see, I mean, we've got to do a public hearing regardless because it's a sign variance, so, and we won't set it officially, the public
It'll be
hearing, we won't
3
set.
weeks from tonight.
It'll be 3 weeks from tonight, so it'll be at the end of April, so that gives plenty of time for us to get the information
Could I get the gentleman who runs the building to come with me and maybe?
Sure,
you
yeah,
guys-
absolutely.
And he could say right here,
If he would
maybe
show up
over
to
to
the next
minutes.
meeting, I think that would be.
Yeah, no,
beneficial.
absolutely, yeah, if he shows up. Okay, so what we would need to do is make a motion to set the public hearing for, what is that, April the 20th?
So it will be May 6th.
Yeah, May
May
sixth will be 3
6th.
weeks
Oh my
away.
gosh, yeah, 'cause this is the 15th,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
It'll be 3
Because
weeks.
just so y'all know, because of Memorial Day, the May meetings will be, the full meetings will be on the 6th, and the 20th, the committees will be on the 15th, but we have 5 Mondays in April, so we'll have committees on the 29th.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Okay.
anyway, we will set the public hearing on the 22nd for May 6th.
May 6th, okay, so that would be the motion would be to set the public hearing to happen on Monday night, May the 6th, with the recommendation, without a recommendation pending that public hearing. And then we
I'll
can
also
get,
have, I
yes.
forgot the gentleman's name, but I will make sure.
Okay, yeah, and then I've texted John Delp, so we can find out from him.
So my clarification to ask you was,
Yes.
is the intent then to send the item out of committee as well, or to keep it in committee?
I mean, I don't think we need to keep it in committee since we can't have the public hearing for 3 weeks anyway, because we can all he can get all the information we need in the 3 weeks' time, and then when we're having the public hearing, he can tell us, and then that people will either vote it or not vote for it.
Okay, because really the only question is about whether or not a proffer will be made.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I'll make that motion to send it out, pending the public hearing and for it to be set on, May 6th, thanks.
Okay, all right, motion from Mr. Sims, did you get all that? Second from Mr. Alman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 5-0. So that will be in public hearing on May the 6th. Wyatt can communicate with you, and I'll wait and hear back from John.
And, can I get you, I don't have a contact for you, I don't believe. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't bring a card down with me. Well, I can get you one.
Okay, next item is 080424, request to set a public hearing and refer to the Special Issues Committee for consideration of a sign variance at 401 West Valley Avenue, Birmingham Wholesale, James Dean Visual Art, and Wyatt Pugh. All right, Mr. Pugh, we got another sign variance. Oh, hello. Hi.
This evening.
Good, come on up. I'm assuming that you are James Dean?
Yes, I am the James.
The James Dean. I like it.
The only James Dean.
Jr.
Nice.
I had that, so.
All right. All right, so this is obviously the sign.
Right.
Brian, do we have a show where the building is?
Second.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes. I also have with me the owner.
Okay. Oh, the building owner? Okay, nice, thank you.
Okay, the sign area is roughly about 300 feet across.
Okay.
And that's excluding the shipping docks. So this is considered the area. Now, you have specifications that say that the height of signage should be 36 inches or 3 feet.
Right.
Okay, but here's the problem. You have, this is like the center, the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And that sign has a logo that goes with it, what you just saw.
You can go back to the first page.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, just go back to that. And
Oh, the logo is
and
larger.
what's happening is that the sign gets lost in space. It's so long.
Sure.
This, of course, is the former, is it the Compass Building?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Compass Bank.
Yeah.
And it's a huge storefront.
Yeah.
This part here is just the entrance.
Yeah.
So that looks like it's big, right? But when you go to that,
The next hour.
the next.
Yeah.
you
There we go.
See how it's lost.
Yeah.
So, that ball logo just brings the sign out.
Just makes it more visible.
Right, just more visible.
Yeah.
And, but it was already in production. And when I learned it, through the permit that
And it looked
wouldn't
like,
work.
it looked like it was 42 inches as opposed to 36.
Right.
So it's
Right.
about, what,
6
eight,
inches.
about
Right.
6 inches too big, okay?
Right, so
And-
you would add that on top of what's there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and what is, it looks like to me, Wyatt, that there's a parking lot at the front of the building. How far off the road is that building? Because it is very long, obviously.
I don't know the exact measurement, but you know, it's on the corner of Green Springs and West Valley, so it's got that big parking lot.
Front, yeah.
Right.
So that's a long way from
Yes.
either road.
It is.
And,
Yeah.
and so without that logo, things get lost.
Sure.
You know, you're driving, and if these signs
Big building.
were up here, for instance, the one Birmingham Wholesale,
Yeah.
up top there, you can see it, but we're going by your limitations.
Yeah,
so-
right.
so we're forced to have it
Is the
right there.
sign gonna be, what is it, gonna be channel letters? Are they illuminated?
Yes,
Like,
oh,
what's the?
well, actually, it was, we were given permission to install it.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it's up there now,
The letters,
the
okay.
letter.
The only thing that's lacking is just the logo.
It's the
Okay,
ball.
the ball, okay,
which
got it.
actually makes the sign.
Okay, I see, okay,
Because
but,
people will see that.
yeah, and it is illuminated?
Mhm,
Yes,
right.
okay, all right.
Counselor Smith,
Yes.
I make a motion to send out without recommendation pending the public hearing and to set the public hearing for May 6th.
Thank you, that's a
Thank you.
perfect motion. Okay, motion for Mr. Sims, second for Mr. Alman, all in favor, please say aye. 5-0, that is, so that will be in public hearing on Monday night, May the sixth.
Okay.
Out in next door in our council chambers. And you can just come back and make that presentation and we'll get it voted on.
Right.
Yeah, all right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
And hopefully approved.
Hopefully approved. Thank you for being here.
Bring your dad next time.
We appreciate it.
Well, I don't think that's possible. Not on this earth. at
On
least.
this earthly
Right,
plane.
right, right. We'll see it someday. All right.
All right, thank you so much. All right, last item, 090424, request to set a public hearing and refer to the Special Issues Committee for consideration of a sign variance. We have a theme. It's Mr. Allemann's favorite theme, at 1944 28th Avenue South, Southern Immediate Care, Karen Hollis, Simmons Sign Graphic, Mr. Pugh, and I know this is for the, what was the St. Vincent's
That's right.
Ascension.
It was the St. Vincent's Ascension, so, they're going to replace those signs totally. They've taken the urgent care sign off the side. Are you here about this sign? Oh, you are, okay, good. They're going to replace the front sign and the side sign. The request, there are 3 variance requests in the 3 boxes. One is the height of the letters, which in the downtown district is limited to 24 inches. The request is for 33-inch high logo. Variance 2, 1 wall sign per storefront is permitted in the downtown district. This request is to have 1 on the side also, so for 1 additional wall.
Facing 31.
Facing 31, right. And then, yeah, there you go, front and side, see the distance. And then the 3rd variance, Brown, you go back, I forgot what it was.
It's illumination.
Illumination, thank you.
There we go.
Only external illumination is permitted in the downtown district, and the proposal is to internally illuminate these signs, is that correct?
And they currently have internal illumination, is that right?
They currently do by a variance that
Right.
was granted
To the Ascension. Well, and let me ask, what are the 4 dots up on top? Is that a totally
That's a
not?
painting on the building, that's on the building itself.
Okay, so that's not part of the
That's
sign.
not-
Okay, thank you. That's what I was wondering. And I don't know why, am I wrong? This looks smaller than the St. Vincent stuff. Am I right or wrong about that?
You know, it may be, I didn't compare the 2, I probably should have done that, but,
It does appear to be a little smaller, compared to what they
They
had.
had.
It's kinda hard to tell in that photo, but it's just kinda laid out
Yeah.
different.
the area is totally fine.
Yeah.
What's your name, Charles Morgan?
All right. Yeah, it's definitely not. Maybe it's 'cause it's not city colors. All right, so this would be the similar motion as the previous 2?
Sir, did you say Moore?
I'm sorry.
Charles, Morgan, Mr. Morgan, what will be the hours of this establishment? I'm just asking as it relates to the illumination.
That I couldn't speak to. I don't know if they're gonna be open. He has several different clinics that he opens at various times depending on need.
Okay.
I mean, currently, I will say, I think the one now, the St. Vincent's one, is open at night. I mean, I don't know till how late, but I know that they do have after hours.
And
I don't know what that, I don't know
My
what
guess
they
is
meant.
as late as 9 o'clock at night.
Probably 9 would be the latest, I would guess. Yeah.
The thing also is that every business in this shopping center has illuminated channel letters.
It does, a lot of them do, and a lot of them were pre-existing
Yeah, they
to the
predated.
revisions to the downtown signage ordinance. So we just wanted to ask for the sake of,
Right.
just confirming the need. So if you can provide the information, before, at the public hearing or in advance about the anticipated hours of the establishment, I think that would be helpful.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
I'll make a motion to send out without recommendation pending the public hearing and set the public hearing for May the 6th.
Okay, motion from Ms. Andrews, second from Mr. Allemon. All in favor, please say aye.
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 5-0. So that also will be we'll have a public hearing about this on Monday night, May the 6th, next door in our council chambers. So it'll be a similar situation, except the full council will vote on that.
Okay. Will I need to be present for that or?
Somebody probably should
Okay,
be,
that's fine.
whether it's the same, whether it's the owner or yourself or whoever. Okay, all right.
And then do we need to just get those hours emailed back over to you as far as the?
Yes, just send me any of the information on that.
Okay.
I'll make sure
thank you, have a wonderful night, and, seeing no other items, we are, special issues is adjourned.
Andy, go. Do you leave? Andy? Oh, you don't know. Andy, you ready?
Ready?
I am ready.
Planning and Development Committee meeting for April 15th, 2024. Counselor Andrews.
Here.
Walden.
Here.
Wolverton. Here. Sims.
Here.
Nelms.
Here.
Full house.
Okay, full house. Thanks, everybody. I will begin with a motion to dispense the reading and approve the minutes from the last meeting, March 18th.
So moved.
Second? All right, got a motion from Counselor Gwaltney and a second from Counselor Nelms. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes to 5-0. Okay, no old business, new business 10-04-24. Public hearing set for May 13th, 2024 at 6 for consideration of a final development plan at 232 Green Springs Highway. For Bank of America to permit the construction of a 4,235 square foot single-story branch bank, as well as associated parking, landscaping, and other site improvements. We heard this at the Planning Commission and had a vote of 6-0 to 1 for a favorable recommendation. Okay?
Counselor Andrews, can I, before the presentation starts, can I just ask a question for clarification? I see that we have just set public hearings for May 6th, and then this one says May 13th. I just want to check to see what our correct date is.
It doesn't sound like council
It
meeting on the
doesn't sound-
13th. It'll have to be changed
At
to
the
the
next
one
meeting.
after that, so the 20th.
Okay, I just
Right.
wanted, I just
Alright,
want to
thank
clear
you.
that
Thank you
up.
for pointing that out.
Yep,
We'll clean
did
it
not
up
catch
on
that.
Monday night.
All right, you'll clean it up on, so that doesn't need to be part of the motion tonight? Since it's already.
Make it a part of the motion to
Okay.
set it for the 30th, or the
20th.
20th.
Okay, okay.
I'll make it over.
Yeah, you're here coming home, right?
I am.
Yeah, do you wanna sign in and then,
Yeah, absolutely.
do you want, is it okay?
Connor
Yeah.
Patton's here with Kimley Horn. They were the civil on the project. So this is an out parcel
PATO.
at the Mi Pueblo Shopping Center. Is there like an aerial
Out
kind
front.
of orient?
Where the regions
Yeah.
used to be?
Oh, where the regions used to be?
No, it's directly across the entrance from the Regions.
Oh,
It's in
Oh,
the,
I see, yeah.
where the parking lot
The
is
empty
now.
lot.
yeah, I
Okay,
gotcha.
great.
Okay.
Battling banks.
That is, yeah, that's the bank sector now. So it's-
Is, yeah, the new Chase Bank there, yeah. I can give a quick kind of blur.
Yeah,
We
please do.
kind of hit the basic points, but I'm Connor Patton with Kinley Horn, civil engineer in Birmingham. Here representing Bank of America. A couple things to point out on the site plan. I think we hit the basics, but yeah, there will be a drive-through ATM here. Just one thing to note, we are removing the front parking spaces that are basically on the right-of-way lines along Green Springs, and we'll be planting that back with additional landscaping, so it should be much more attractive.
They'll maintain?
Sorry?
They'll maintain?
Correct, yeah, it'll all be on private property, correct.
That's parking.
And then there are 2 retaining walls on site, both should be less than about 6 feet tall. The bank is on the low side of the site, so we'll screen them with landscaping and,
And you changed the
Funnel.
direction, right, but because of the drive-through, you changed the orient of
we
the
did,
parking
yes,
spaces?
this is a one-way access drive right now. Instead of making customers drive all the way around to the second access drive, we are gonna restripe. The arrow doesn't match up perfectly, but it fits on the survey. You can see where some overlaps there, but we'll be changing that to a 2-way drive. And then final thing to note here is there is no dumpster enclosure. Talking with the bank, they prefer no dumpster because all of their trash pickups are from a private service due to the confidentiality of their, paperwork and stuff like that. So, they said they would prefer not to have a dumpster enclosure, similar to other banks in the city of Homewood, just because if they do have one, people will come drop trash in it. So, they prefer to handle that via private trash service. Yeah, I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Quick question, I noticed in that rendering, the first one, it looked like there was a bicycle out front, and another one, do you plan to have a bike parking, or I mean,
We
a
absolutely
bike rack?
can, yeah. We don't have any final plans, we just have that conceptual plan put together, but we will if we'd like a bike rack.
I just wondered if it was actually included in this, the rendering, I didn't see it, but just noticed in the visual, so just wanna ask.
Yeah, these aren't exactly site specific, so things will be a little bit different from these renderings. This is kind of more their prototypical site rendering, but yes, we can have a bike rack.
So the proper motion then would be to set the public hearing for May the 20th and send out without recommendation for the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion from Counselor Gwaltney with a second from Counselor Sims. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes 5-0. It's now May 20th. Thank you so much. Oh.
Happy birthday.
Wow.
You
We'll bring you some cake.
Yep, you just head on down to Soho after it's over, so.
Exactly.
It's his birthday.
It's gonna be his birthday on the 20th.
Maybe it'll be good luck for you.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay,
Bye, you too.
without objection, then we are adjourned.
Can I make this look at?
And I will.
Yeah.
I'm singing in the side.